and today I have the lovely Mariangela, and I'm honored to have you here. And I would just love for you to start with your spiritual journey. Like, how does it start? Like, was it young? Were you like an adult when you started? Like, where did it start to where it has led you to today?
Of course, thank you for having me, Janine, and so happy to be here with your community. And I feel like I really want to be of service to you and your community and the people listening so that they get the biggest shifts possible. And my story, I was born in Chile, South America, and because of the politics, my parents left when I was 5. And because of that, I felt like there was a really big severing of my roots because I was safe there. Well, I thought I was safe there, but because of the politics, things were very unstable. It was very threatening. But my lineage, I feel like I lost my lineage. And because my parents went to Australia, they wanted to assimilate and be part of that community. We didn't really practice many things. And I think sharing this is really important because we feel like we need to be in a particular way or live in a particular place to be with those sacred sites. And often it's about where can we find those new places. So I was always drawn to the trees. We in Sydney was very suburban, but there was the Blue Mountains. It was about an hour away. I didn't know why the trees felt good. I didn't know why I felt calmer around them, but there was something different about that. And as a young one, I didn't know what that was. My life was filled with fear. I didn't realize I was processing a lot of the ancestors, a lot of the Chilean trauma that I was carrying, and my dad's family being Italian. It wasn't until I went back, I had lots of healing in between, but I went back to Chile when I was 40. So I was 35 years later, I went back and connected with my cousins. And walking the land there was so important for me, touching the rocks, touching the sand, seeing where my mum was born, driving past the house, which now had bars on the windows. So I'm glad in some respects my parents left for safety, for security, for peace, because if we'd lived there, it would still been in my psyche. But I felt really drawn to Peru. I went by myself, left my family, my kids, my husband, and I just had to travel. There was something about me needing to do this journey on my own to reclaim my lineage, my Inca lineage, the ancestrals started to talk to me straight away when I landed in my cousin's house. They had a big wall of all the ancestors on the wall. They spoke to them all the time. So I was really overloaded by what is happening here? It was like full orchestra, all the words. You have to help our family. You have to heal the family. And I thought, I don't know what to do. No, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to Chile. I was traveling through Peru, Bolivia, Argentina. I said, when I come back, I'll do the work. So the traveling to Peru was when I went to Machu Picchu. The ancestors there started to talk to me, the Incas, I could feel the rattles. I could hear the rattles. My psychic abilities really expanded. I'm saying this not because you need to go to Machu Picchu or South America to get that, but it's like it was reclaiming of something that I'd lost, that I'd forgotten. And I could see things, I could hear them. I knew I was super sensitive. I did meet a lot of shamans on my journey, and I chose not to do the ayahuasca. At that time, I wasn't really aware of what that really was, but intuitively, because of my sensitivity, I knew that it would be too much. All the purging, the vomiting. I already had psychic visions. I didn't need to go down that path to look at my trauma, to look at, my deepest fears. Working with the shamans there, I really could connect with the land and have the visions and see what I was missing. It was like my masculine and feminine were coming together. What was ripped apart from me before, my disconnection to the land was where it started to really come together for me. Meeting the shamans was really important because I thought what was I really wanting? But I just wanted to sit with them. I just wanted to be hanging, I just wanted to hang around with them because their frequency started to modulate my frequency. I didn't need any big blessings. I had the blessings, but it was more about just being with them. And one particular one, he was digging a pit in the earth to bury the offering that he'd created for me. And as he set that alight, I could see the eagle, I could see the condor, I could see the puma. All the spirits were coming through. Couldn't photograph it, but even the other guy that was with me, the guide, he was saying, "Can you see that?" I said, "I can totally see it." So it was just amazing to be that connected. I think in that lineage that they do those offerings, that they are so connected to the earth. And I went to Bolivia and I didn't feel as connected there. It was really interesting. But I did have another blessing, finally getting to Argentina where I danced the tango. And but there was the Inca lineage goes through all of those continents. So it's not just have to be in one particular place. There was something I was retrieving from all of them. In Argentina, a lot of Italians had migrated there after the war, which my parents or my dad came from there, went to Chile. So they're like, oh, these are my people. Having left Chile, I thought, I don't know where I belong, but I've realized I am a global citizen. I needed just to connect to pieces of these bits, and it was like I saw on like a totem pole where all these bits started to fit together as a puzzle. Coming back to Australia, I realized I didn't need to go to all those places to find myself. I have it here. I can connect to the trees. I can connect to the land. I can connect to the ley lines, which is something so important right now. We're in the dragon year, and connecting to the dragon lines anywhere where we're living is so important. We don't need those sacred sites because rocks speak to us. Well, they speak to me. The trees speak to me. And I think that's something about shamanism that's so important, that the land has that access to thousands of years of history and memory from the Indigenous cultures that we can connect with when we are, drawing up the earth energy, when we connect to the wellspring of Mother Earth and the heart of Mother Earth. So I think that reconnection for me was so important. I now live in Tasmania, which is a little island underneath Australia, lots of trees, lots of water, and I can feel I can access it straight away. It's just, it's there because it's in my frequency. I've embodied it enough. And I think that is what, in my perspective, is what shamanism is about, is connecting to a frequency, to the sky, to the oceans, to the elements, and then becoming that frequency, really embodying it. And that then heals. That then heals. I've got a biomedical science degree. I worked in pathology for 10 years. I worked with cancer cells. I wanted to help people before they got to that place. This embodiment of nature is what restores the frequency back to balance, shifting the disease that might be carried in the body. That's the work that I do.
I love that. I feel like you're unique in your own way. Like you have your own ness. Like you're your own person. It's so beautiful to see and witness that. So thank you for sharing yourself. I'm curious. So like when you were 40, like was there a pull to go to all those different countries, or like what happened to like make you go to all those different countries?
I always wanted to return to Chile. My parents were still fearful and they thought that if they returned, they wouldn't be allowed out. So there was still a lot of trauma they were carrying. So I've always felt I can't just go to Chile. I would want to go everywhere, but, but Peru was definitely top number one for me. There was something about that frequency. And I think every place has some trauma, cultural trauma. And so I think there's a lineage there in Chile where they're still holding a frequency. I can't trust people. I can't trust authority. Even though I did connect to some beautiful people there, I was clearing that myself for what I inherited. Peru still had a deeper sense of shamanism, that they had a lot of offerings. You could see it. They had it around the place, so that they hadn't quite lost that yet. So there's something still a bit more pure in that was held the consciousness of
Mm,
shamanic abilities. Even people went there rather than their doctor. I could find the medicines. I could find the herbs. I studied as a naturopath. I'm a herbalist. So it was really important for me to find out, what do you use to heal? Where are the teas? It was so much
mm,
easier to access that in Peru and Bolivia, where they call it the witches' market, where they had all the plants,
mm,
yeah, all the medicinal properties. So even though they're still Western, but I could feel that there was still that connection to, this is what we always use. This is how we support the family. When things are a bit unstable or a bit disease is starting, or colds or flus, we're getting onto it early. So I think that was what I was craving, is finding the plants that spoke to me, and how that related to where I'm living now in Australia. And they're, using very similar ones. So I thought that was beautiful.
Thank you. So, what does the word shamanism mean to you?
Shamanism for me is having the ability to face the shadow, face the darkness, face the things that we fear. And as a shaman, I know that I can travel timelines between the past and the future. So it has that capacity to heal the ancestral line and to become a future ancestor. So we're clearing the future and changing the future. So for me, we are not stuck on one future and that's what we're destined to do. I'm always changing a better outcome, because as we heal, face the fears, uncover what's holding us back from both mum and dad's side of the family, we can keep changing the possibility of having a much more supportive goal or desire or dream that we want to create. Often we want to achieve that dream, but there's so many things that are in the way. So for me, shamanism helps me to go into the fire element, to transmute, to alchemize the thing that is the greatest fear. And as we do that, then that opens up to become our greatest gift. I think shamanism helps to just clear the wounds and the scars that we carry, because we can face the fire and allow that to become something amazing, really potent. Because of my background, speaking was really fearful for me. I couldn't speak. I was really scared. I, I shook. I was just petrified, and I had to face that. Had to face, how can I actually, speaking like this now, I know that I've done years of work on myself, but I was able to alchemize that fear, so that then became one of my gifts, to be able to express, to be able to accumulate positive words, positive frequencies through me, and share that to others. So I think when people are facing their fear, and it might be connection to their channel, to the divine, or to their intuition, or even their sacred power, the solar plexus energy really activates the leadership potential. I know that I activate all of those within myself, the multi gifts, and share them with others. But when we're composting it, then we bring the true elements of that to have a new expression, so that we're breaking down those elements that keep us stuck, so that we can open up into new possibilities.
Mm, thank you. So, who are the clients that come to you, like when you do your spiritual work? Like, how do they find you? I guess, like, what do they come with? Um, that you want healed, I guess.
My eldest son was born with a lot of challenges, a lot of allergies to foods, chemicals. When I worked in pathology, I was pregnant with him, and I was worried might have been exposed to some low chemicals when we did stains in the, yeah. But I think he's also come in like a bit of a canary, sensitive like me and intuitive. And so he would bring in a lot of psychic attack into his life. So I had to learn to heal him. So I attracted a lot of children initially with allergies to foods and chemicals. And over time, I realized that their parents were also carrying that as well. So in my ability to heal my son, awakened a lot of my abilities to past lives, to the Akashic records, to working with the land, to clearing what he was carrying, not just from me, but from other lifetimes, so that he could be really healthy, which he is now. So a lot of my people came in with other sensitivities and stress and anxiety. I found anxiety is holding a lot of our power. It's about where do I don't trust myself. So I shifted a little bit more into bringing clients that were women that had sensitivities, that once I healed their fears or their imbalances, they realized they also had intuitive healing abilities. So I do attract the healers that are still awakening because of some stress that they're carrying. And then I'm able to help them really step into what they're truly here to do. And a lot of that is being shamans, being medicine women, connecting to the land and listening to what the earth has to say for them. So it's about healing the base chakra. They are safe in the world, because base chakra is not just about power or money, it's about their immunity and feeling
Mhm.
like they belong. So because my core wound was I don't belong, I'm disconnected, I'd been wretched from my home, I was able to heal that. So that's the sort of people I bring, is where do I feel safe? Where is my safe place? And I think helping them connect to any place, any land-based nature place, is really crucial. So I also take them into the mountains, into the bush, to help reconnect them to themselves, to, the masculine part, the form, the structure, and also the feminine. So they're bridging both sides, integrating both right and left. A bit like me bridging my scientific aspect of me into my intuitive part. So I bring that together. They're the people I bring in. People in transitions that are finding, where's my next step? I feel a bit lost. I'm unsure. I don't trust myself. So it's really
Mhm.
grounding that base chakra, which can be really wobbly in any transition, even change of the year or change of the season. Where can I really fully land in myself through this, so that I'm holding my space better? So I'm connecting to the next version of myself, the next evolution that I'm becoming. We have to let something old die. And in that disconnection, it is a bit destabilizing, because you're not fully grounded in the new you. The old you is falling away. This is where I really support people to become stable in that next expression.
That's beautiful. Like you feel powerful, but you feel so grounded and wholesome. Like you feel, to me, you're just like, yeah, whole would is the word that I would use. So I appreciate that. It's yeah, you just lovely energy to be like connecting with. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And sharing your voice. I also appreciate that. And like there's so much truth that you're saying, like using your voice and like there's so much that you're saying that is so helpful. And even if people are just starting, it's you're giving them really good advice and just directing them in a peaceful way, like just how you were talking. So I love that.
Thank
Um,
you.
can you share one of your like transformative spiritual journeys, either on yourself or maybe like a client that you've had or someone that just a transformative journey that you want to just share?
Yeah. For me, healing some of the difficulties of feeling displaced and having a very dominating father, feeling fear, I did use sound, voice. Singing was really transformational for me. It gets out of the way, it gets the mind out of the way, because it's trying to analyze everything. So I did do a lot of not just, singing songs necessarily, but it was more toning, and in that toning, any vowel, or even you can use a mantra, that vibration started to shift out the trauma and the fear in my body. And as I did that, I allowed more of me to come through, because I think that's what shamanism is as well. Clearing out the layers of fear so that you are here, the real you can be seen. And as I did that, I started to feel it's like I was shape shifting. I could feel the eagle come through me. I could sense I had a beak, and my arms were like feathers and wings, and this deep sound came out of me, and I was shocked. I thought, who is that? And I didn't realize I was meant to be a sound healer, but this was this new expression, this new frequency coming through me that was a higher healing sound that felt very much like a grandmother energy, and that I was able to bring that through. Well, who is that? What is that voice? It felt so foreign to my current voice. It was really, oh, this really deep from the earth.
Mm.
Even as I'm talking now, I can feel the goosebumps coming in. And that then I realized it was healing me. And so I was able to do that with other people. I was able to sing around them, tone around them, and I do that with the singing bowl as well. I think that would be a great thing for people to practice, even in the shower. You don't have to do it for public, but just any frequency. It's just so that it shakes out anything that isn't yours that you're still carrying. It opens up the space to allow this new thing to come in, because I've been carrying, I'm a water sign. I carry so much fluid, other people's connections and suffering, that this was part of me shedding that,
Mm.
so that I was able to alchemize that fear of, which is the fire, but also my fluids were also toxic from carrying other people's thoughts, emotions. I'm very emotional. I would cry so often walking into supermarket or a hall or the airport. I didn't know I was connected to everything. I had no boundaries. So my water element was just leaking everywhere. I think sounding definitely helped me to come back more into my body, to shift out what I had absorbed from others that I didn't know I was healing them subconsciously. I was taking on their problems or their grief, because that was one of my frequencies, having the courage to face holding space for other people's grief. That I didn't have to become that. I was able to have more separation between them and me. So I think sounding was a big one. Cutting the cords too, so that I wasn't connected to them. That was, big. Yeah, because otherwise all the good stuff I was doing for myself was still leaking out to everybody else. They were getting the benefit more than me. And
Right.
in the singing, I was able to open up more portals, more channels for other healing beings, ascended masters to come through, different frequencies from other Lemurian frequencies, Atlantean, Egyptian felt really strong. The sounding definitely opened up my channel to open up to those other dimensions. And I think in that also, it's like it was a gradual, it wasn't just here it is, it was over a period of years. But then I realized the people that were also coming in their souls weren't from Earth necessarily, they were from another star system. They were from the Pleiades or Sirius or Andromeda or Orion or even hybrid star systems. So I realized that was also I was needing to express and to bring through that frequency to help to heal me, and also to heal those, well, I think they call them star seeds now, different systems from other galaxies that are here to heal the earth, so that we're changing the frequency, we're changing what's happening. And this is the year for that. This is such a massive year that I think I totally know in my soul that this is the year for pivotal change, that we can save the world, the nature, the trees. Yeah, this is it. I think that's what we do as shamans, is to bring in those qualities. And it isn't just stuck in one lineage. It's in the place you're in now, and accessing all those different elements, all those different lifetimes that we have been shamans. And as I say that, I think that's really important to bring up that word, that in the old days, shamans were the doctors of the village. They were available to everybody to heal. all their problems. And I know from reading that some shamans, it was like, I don't want to be a shaman. I know the burden that carries and the weight of that you are available 24/7 to everybody, that you are responsible for the tribe. And I feel, even as I'm talking about that now, that some of your community might be feeling it, because I'm feeling some tension here around this is what we're also releasing is I'm not responsible for everybody and carrying all their burdens. It is not mine. It is not mine for this lifetime. It might have been in the past. And I think that can lead to exhaustion where we're still energetically attuned, where people, we've got these little antennas out there looking, who is suffering, who is struggling, who are we meant to be connecting with? And that can drag our energy down. And when it's not necessarily ours to do, I help people when they come to me. Before I was unconscious to that, and I would just randomly be spreading my light everywhere. But now I know if they're ready to heal, they're ready to take the steps, and I am there to support them, to hold space for them, because we're working together, co-creating together. I think that's the difference. So anyone listening, cut those cords to those other lives.
Yeah, you can feel the heaviness, and like creating those healthy boundaries is so important because you can't just give, 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 and then like you have to replenish your cup. You can't do that. It just doesn't work. Thank you. So when you're working with people, what lights you up the most?
When they realize that they have so many abilities, when they realize that they've been disconnected from their intuition, when, yeah, that lights me up. It brings tears to my eyes when I know they're on track. Feels like I'm far those people that are off track. They're on back on the course. I just think, this is what I'm here to do, because yeah, steer them back to where the light is. And often they can be connected to their third eye wisdom, but they might have lost their heart wisdom or their gut wisdom. And I think with shamanic abilities, that consciousness, the gut, is what often gets pulled off. So our mind can get corrupted, our intuition can get corrupted by the logical mind. We can cut that off. But the heart is where it holds so much, has so many more neural pathways. We're listening to the heart, but the gut often gets disconnected in childhood, where we do trust our intuition, we're fully on board, and then someone said, that's rubbish, I don't believe you, you're making it up. And that's often where I find in my clients that they're holding that anxiety in their stomach, where they're disowning their power, they're disowning their intuition, they've separated from that, and they just don't know what is that? What does that actually feel like? What their yes and no is, because that's so crucial to follow the path of this actually supports me, because that's what I found. Often they are maybe choosing a yes that only supports them 20% because they're there for others. I'm all about choosing to receive at higher levels all the time. What is my capacity of receiving? How much more can I receive? Because it's, as we expand, we can bring in more. But that gut intuition can often get derailed, where we are often, that's our power center. Who can I feed? Who can I give to others to make sure that they're fine? So I think that's still a work in progress for people to learn. Once they trust their gut, then all of the three channels of intuition, third eye, heart, and gut, are coming together, the three fire centers, that they won't miss opportunities. They won't miss the doors opening for them, because they're totally congruent in that alignment.
You have so much wisdom. I just appreciate it. I'm just letting it sink in as well. So it's like, what's my next question? Could you share what your free gift is that you're sharing with the audience today?
Of course. My free gift is about awaken your animal power. So this year we're in the dragon year. It's a really powerful animal, but we all carry an animal archetype that helps us, those qualities help us to raise our vibration. Right now, we might be holding on to an old identity or an old frequency that will hold us back. We can't create the new future from this old frequency. We have to shift into a new identity, and often using animal qualities will help to open up that next doorway. So that's what I'm saying about what is the next level of abundance that can come in, your next level blessings, prosperity, opportunities. We have to shift the archetype that we're currently carrying. And my free gift helps to awaken that, to embody it, so that you are then sending out a whole new frequency for this year, for who you want to become and the sort of people you want to attract, the relationships that you want to have, the health, the well-being, your confidence. So I'd love to share that with everybody. And I know it's so transformational to embody that new frequency.
Absolutely. If you want to share your book, I would love for
Yes,
you to just to kind of tell us what it's about
yes,
and just kind of
yes. So here it is. Here we go.
mystic
The Mystic Woman's Compass.
Mm.
And this is my story. But it's also about connecting to your shamanic abilities. It's about connecting to the ley lines, the healing meridians around the world, everywhere, and to heal the past, to heal what's holding you back. So I have a lot of activations, processes in there. As I share my story, I also give examples of how, boundaries might have been crossed, or attracting bullies or people, power issues, and fully stepping into more of the elements, embodying rituals. So it has so many different things, as well as oracle card spreads to find your own answers. So it's a whole, 13 chapters of amazing, juicy concepts, but also your own healing journey that would be really valuable this year. Yeah. So it took me a couple of years to write, and it just helps to move through my awakening journey into how I've become now, into helping people all around the world and to accessing all of my abilities. And so by, tapping into the information in the book, people also can start to awaken the shamanic abilities, but also, being the channel, being the cosmic shaman as well, and being that full alignment. So I've had so much positive feedback from it. Yeah.
So if someone wants to buy, like, where do they purchase it at? Is it
I
like
can get
just
it
a
on
book?
Amazon.
Like good. And
Yeah.
is there also like an audio as well, or just paper
Oh, there's a
book?
Kindle version, not audio just yet. Yeah, it's coming.
And I would love if we finished out this interview with your transmission of whatever comes through you or whatever you feel inspired. I just for love you to take the floor and just finish out the interview.
Thank you. Okay, so if everyone can just close their eyes, and we're connecting to the guides, your shamanic guides, your cosmic shamanic guides, your animal guides, and the guides that also bring in the elements, fire, water, earth, and air. We're also connecting to Mother Earth, the center of Mother Earth, the Earth Star chakra, to bring up and draw in that connection for this year. So I want you to breathe in both directions, from the higher realms and the lower realms into the body, opening up the channel, receiving more, turning up your capacity of receiving the light, the healing, the awareness that you need, something that's been holding you back, that you want to take up more space in your body right now. As we're balancing the elements of the fire, which is facing those fears, alchemizing it. The fire element is also in the heart. So we're sort of imagining, as you're breathing in both directions, you're breathing out front and back heart, opening up that heart even more, releasing any blockages in the back heart where you might have been holding some grief or sadness, disappointment. that things haven't worked out in the way you thought. The timing wasn't right. And we're activating the water element, your water elements through your kidneys, bladder, lymphatic system, in the joints, the fluids in the joints, the cerebral spinal fluid, and the water in the cells, so that you are harmonizing the frequency of that water element. Again, turning up your ability to receive more light in the water. We have 70% water. There is a bit of heaviness there in the water. We want to bring in love, healing, peace. That's it. Turning it up even more, restoring the harmony within your water molecules, because you are vibrating. That's it. I can feel that shift now. Great. That's it. Great. And the vibration of peace and love, you become that you are a channel of love. And the earth element, so the earth in the body is stomach and spleen. Spleen is our immune system, stomach digests foods. This is our trusting ability, our connection, that we are always connected, that our grounding cord is always there throughout the day and night, and that we're not escaping. And this is about trusting the body, trusting that we are safe. In this moment, I'm safe. That's it. Because we can't create if we're not in the body. Our soul tends to leak out into the past and the future. We're just calling the soul back in right now. Calling your soul, breathing it back into the body. Because otherwise we'll be creating above or in the past or a future, and it's not going to come through because it's outside of us. So calling that back in, feeling that really dropping down into the pelvis. That's it, good. That's great. And the air element, which is our mind, that can often go into fear, that can go into overwhelm or too much in the future. I want to bring that balance back in the mind so that we're sending the healing to the front of the brain, the sides of the brain, the top of the brain, the back of the brain. So all parts of the brain are receiving the healing. Feel it like a spiral going in there, just balancing the air so that it's shifting the perspective of always going into worry and into more, how is life supporting me? How is life contributing to me right now? What is the gift that I have not seen in where I'm been at the moment? Letting that drop in. That's it, great. So all of those four elements are like part of a wheel, the spokes of a wheel, connecting and swirling around you. So as you're breathing in both directions, allowing that healing now to go more into the body, that feels so different, and around the energetic field. So it's encasing you, enveloping you. You're in a beautiful cocoon of light. And that outer edge is holding you in a crystalline container so that the healing is for you and not leaking anywhere. It's above you and below your feet. That's it. And we're asking to bring in the gatekeepers, the guardians of the land, the dragon lines, to activate the chakras that you have in your feet. They're going to be able to uptake the frequency of the earth from wherever you are at the moment. You're connecting to any mountains, any nature place, trees, even beaches, caves. This is connecting, asking your guides to connect you to the positive ley lines, the positive vortices that are in your area, that you're accessing the wisdom. That's it. That feels so strong. The wisdom of the earth in your area, the memories, the Indigenous people, and how you can tap into the healing that's pulsing up through your feet, through your chakras, the feet chakras that are now aligning to the body, and allowing that pulse to come through as these guardians, the gatekeepers, these dragons open up portals to other dimensions, to memories of you working as a shaman before, healing people. We're cutting those negative cords where you felt burdened and overwhelmed and exhausted from those lifetimes, from being available and not considering your needs first, that it is no longer your responsibility to be saving and rescuing everybody, that this is your year. Especially this year, we're coming up to the two eclipses in March and April. The one in March is a South Node, a Libra eclipse, and this is all about the past, releasing your relationships to codependency, to relationships that have been out of balance, where you have been overgiving. So this eclipse coming up is about the breakthrough, breaking of a cycle of overgiving, where you get to start to receive more in a relationship, where you start to receive love and appreciation and respect. This is an air element sign, and it's clearing the pattern of you being disconnected out of your body, stuck in the collective drama of stress and struggle and scarcity, that there's not enough to go around. We're also connecting to the next eclipse, which is the really big breakthrough. It's Aries, and it's a north node. It's the new direction. This is the new moon. Fire sign, giving you the motivation, the courage, the boldness. This is going to be activating your solar plexus, your life force, your potential. This is the new identity that you're going to be carrying into this year. This year, the dragon year. This is becoming the person you've been waiting for. And there might be some resistance. So I don't know if I can be that. Just let that fire start to melt any resistance there in the solar plexus of the little one, the wounded one within you, the inner child that doesn't believe this is possible, doesn't believe that you have that capacity. We're just unraveling any hooks from the past where you've tried to do this in other lives. And we want to connect to a positive past life, one where you did succeed, that you were fully thriving, supported, balanced, happy, a lighter life where you're fully replenished. That's what you want to bring in, the memory of that experience, the memory of what that felt like. Perceive that. That you were fully in your power. You were able to channel so much through you, that you had quantum healing. It happened so easily. The people around you were also strong, confident, powerful healers. That's it. Feel that vibration becoming the new you in preparation for these two eclipses coming up. You embodying all of these positive aspects of the shamanic abilities that you carry, the medicine woman, the base chakra, belonging. I belong now. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm exactly where I need to be. And we're sending all of this new frequency down into the earth below your feet so that you're standing on a new baseline. This is my new normal. This is who I become. This is who I am. You're on a new threshold, a new beginning. And that is opening up a whole new doorway for you now to experience a life, the life you've been waiting for. So as you come back to your normal breath, know that all these changes are being integrated in the light. That's it. Yeah, that new recalibration is coming through now. It's beautiful. Looks like it's more expanded. Knowing these changes are now integrated, everything starts to change. Your life starts to change, your relationships will shift. You'll feel more closer to those around you. And if you have a business or at work, all those relationships will start to change as well as you are now imprinting, soaring to new heights, soaring to a new wellspring of being resourced in all of your parts of your life and your health and well-being. Feels so good. What are you noticing?
I'm tingly all over, but when we did the water element, I could feel it swirl up and it was tight, and then it relaxed.
Yeah, great.
Um, I could feel owl medicine being here. I felt eagle, like being the past life one, like the eagle medicine. I also felt
Beautiful.
dragonfly energy coming in. So I feel like a lot of energy moving and shifting and like twisting and like it'll spiral this way, stop, and then I'll spiral back. Like it's just like there's so much shifting.
Fantastic.